Hi everyone out there. Welcome to the website at St. Thomas. I'm Tom Berg. I'm professor of law and I'm also the Associate Dean for Academic Affairs here. I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I grew up in Chicago and went to college in Chicago at Northwestern University and then also law school at the University of Chicago. Practiced law in Chicago at a big firm for about 3.5 years. So for much of my first part of my life, I had lived in Chicago, and with the exception of a couple of years studying in England. And then I went into law teaching after practicing law and taught in Alabama for 10 years, and then came here to St. Thomas. So it was a little bit of a shock for me to go from Alabama to Minnesota at the beginning of January one year, but I have family here, so had been spent a lot of time in Minnesota, and growing up in Chicago, the cold weather wasn't much of a change. But I've been here for 10 years since the beginning of the law school, and so have a little bit of a perspective on how this very unique place has developed in just 10 years. I teach constitutional law and intellectual property, so copyrights and patents and trademarks, which is a great field, interesting field, a growing field, changing every day. I teach constitutional law, and the area that I study and write about and write briefs in for courts is church-state relations, so the First Amendment, questions of free exercise of religion and establishment of religion, nativity scenes at Christmas time, 10 Commandments in the courthouse. Can people have an exemption from law when it conflicts with their religious beliefs, if they're taking some kind of a drug that's otherwise illegal at a worship service, which has been a recurring kind of issue. A very interesting area of the law for me, and one where I'm also able to participate in affecting the law by writing briefs. I spent the last 2 years as academic dean, and that's a job that takes a lot of time, so I've had to fit in my brief writing and other things often late at night, and the U.S. Supreme Court managed to decide to hear a couple of cases on which I'd been working in the last 2 years, so I had extra late night work, but it was worth doing because of the chance to affect the law and affect how these things are worked out in our society. My interest in UST law fits very well with my academic interest in law and religion. So what really drives me on this is, in that area, is asking the question about how the deepest personal beliefs that we all have, which are sometimes so deep and personal that we don't even talk about them easily, how those beliefs relate to society and how they relate to how we live together in communities, in city, in our towns, in our cities, in our nation. That's what the First Amendment is about. But my interest in coming to UST was because I knew from the beginning when I was told about this school that it was a place where that question about relating our deepest personal beliefs to what we do as lawyers would be at the foundation of a law school, and we would be gathering a group of scholars and students who would want to talk about that, who would want to be helping each other to learn how to live lives of meaning and purpose as lawyers. It's being a lawyer is an extremely demanding job. It's a job with a lot of challenges, both in terms of the amount of work and the kinds of challenges that you face. For a lot of people, for a lot of lawyers, it's a very stressful job. But almost all of the studies show that the more you can see what you're doing as having meaning and purpose beyond just bringing in a salary. The happier you're going to be, the healthier you're going to be, the better lawyer you're going to be, the more use you're going to be to the people that you serve, the people who are your clients. We've been able to do that at UST through a lot of ways that you'll find on the website, and we have a faculty that's committed, really, every one of them. This is to helping you with that kind of training, and to begin to develop that sense of how you can live a life of meaning and purpose as a lawyer. It's not just a few faculty that are doing that here. It's every one of them, and so you will be supported in that throughout. Let me just say a couple of things about how that works out here, and you can find a lot more on the website. Just there are so many opportunities for taking your training and turning it into serving others, from training to work helping underserved people in the clinic, the legal clinic, to just a whole myriad of opportunities for serving others in small ways and big ways. And you can find those, again, all over the website. We just send a lot of students into public interest careers, and so that ethic is here. I'll just give a very kind of homespun story about how this plays out here, by something that I've experienced as the associate dean. It's my job to schedule courses, and this at a place with 150 odd courses. That's a big task. Occasionally something goes wrong, and the schedule has to be changed at the last minute. In one case, this happened. I want to assure you this doesn't happen all the time, so you're not going to be taking a class and then having it changed out from under you frequently. But here's, in one case, we had to do this, and we needed to contact the students and ask some of them to move to another section. And within 5 minutes, we had responses from enough students, half a dozen students, who said, yeah, I'll move to another section if it'll make it easier for the schedule to work out. Now, that's just a very small example of the kind of atmosphere, I think, that's around here, both for faculty, among faculty and among students. There's a sense of being part of the community and helping each other in many different ways. I think you'll find the faculty here very open to helping you. I think you'll find your fellow students very open to you, and to collaborating rather than being competitors. And at the same time, you'll get a really first-class education here, which again you'll see the evidence of on the website. So I hope I haven't gone over my time here, and hope that these thoughts are helpful, along with all the other really lovely people that you're seeing on these videos. So hope to see you here in Minneapolis next fall.